1968 Chevrolet Chevelle convertible, automatic, vintage AC. Let's take it for a test drive. Not a regular car that rolls through the shop, but is a very cool car. I don't get a lot of Chevelle convertibles. They are a difficult car to buy due to the fact that they are always super expensive. Even ones that need some work, even a full-blown project, one of these cars tends to be more money than it really should be. So finding kind of a middle-of-the-ground car, middle-of-the-road car like this one at an awesome price point with a lot of good upgrades is a difficult thing to do. This is a 1968 Chevrolet Chevelle convertible. Obviously, it doesn't have its original driveline due to the fact that it has a 283 motor. Got the numbers off the motor. It is a 283. It is not a 327. So the block is a 283, just a little stock style small block. Has good power for what it is, but obviously not a correct motor for this car. But it pulls it down the road well. It is backed by a turbo 350 3-speed automatic transmission. You do have aftermarket vintage AC. The AC is on and blows nice and cold. I will say with it on the high setting and on the dash setting, you do still get a little bit of AC coming out of the floor, but nothing coming out of the top. So it's not 100% switching from each section, but it is still putting out a good volume of AC out of the dash vents, and it makes it nice and comfortable in here to drive. Power steering, power disc brakes, really nice exhaust system. It's got manifolds, duals, aftermarket mufflers, and full tailpipes coming out the back. It really sounds a little bit more aggressive than it is. It has a good muscle car sound, but this is really more of a good cruiser than anything. On the interior, stock style parchment bucket seat interior, buckets, console, dash pad, all that's in really good shape. A little bit of wear on the top of the console plate. You do have your speedo, you have your factory tack over on the right as well. Really nice like rosewood style steering wheel with a couple little cracks on the actual wood portion, but nothing major. The speedometer is inaccurate by about 10 miles an hour. The faster that you go, the more inaccurate the speedometer will be. So the more mile an hour you're doing, the more mile an hour the speedo is going to say that you're doing. So it is inaccurate, but it does function. The tack works. Your other 4 gauges, you have your voltage, your fuel, your temperature gauge, and your oil pressure gauge. Those are factory gauges and are working as well. Your factory horn works. You have a really nice aftermarket Sony stereo behind the rear seat there, right before you get to the trunk. You have some aftermarket speakers and a subwoofer back there. I will say between the back seat and the trunk, that little liner that goes in there when you put the convertible top down is not there, so that will need to be added if you care to have it. But the carpet, the mats, the door panels, all that stuff does look good. Nice visors as well. Again, on that doesn't work section, we talked about the speedo not being accurate, and then the other item that I have listed as a no is going to be the washer fluid sprayers. They are not spraying any fluid, but that is honestly not that big of a deal and a very, very common issue with pretty much any old car. But your door panels, again, are in great shape. On the rear interior panel in the back, I don't know if you can see it from the rear camera, there's like a little scuff on the interior panel in the back there. But kind of some nitpicky stuff. Overall on the interior, it is very clean. That doesn't work section along with photos of the imperfections will be found on the website pcclassiccars.com within the additional informations tab. So make sure you click on that. A lot of really good information in there as well. We're warmed up. We're gonna test out the power, see what we can get out of the little 283. It does run well for what it is, but again, not a race car. Good positive shift from that turbo 350. And then you get in high gear and we're just cruising. One of the best things outside of already having aftermarket AC and this being a convertible Chevelle is the fact of how nice it is underneath. The floors, the frame rails, the trunk, everything is very nice and very solid underneath. I do not see any rust issues at all, and that is why I purchased this car. Again, it's got the AC and how nice it is underneath. The car does have its shortcomings, which we will talk about here in just a second when it comes to the cosmetics, but it is a great car to take to the next level if someone wants to put a really nice paint job, put a big motor in the car, or even just leave it like it sits, you can. But it's a prime candidate for someone to take this thing to the next level. On the exterior, it has brand new torque thrust D wheels and brand new tires. I put them on the car so they do not have 100 miles on them. They are brand new, ready to go. Nice wheel and tire combo, staggered front to rear. The bumpers are a little bit older, some little nicks and little hazy spots on the front bumper. Where this car is lacking and why it's priced where it's at is due to the paint and body. In my write-up, I have it listed as amateur paint and body. When you walk up to the car, it has a really nice shine to it, but walking around the car, again, I do classify it as amateur paint and body. It has a nice shine, but on close inspection, there's sanding scratches, there's fish eyes, there's different areas of the paint where you can kind of see some splotchy spots, some tiger stripes in the paint where they did paint the car. The bodywork could have definitely been done better. I will say it is not a rusty car. It's just they didn't take the time on the paint work, on the bodywork. They could have done a much better job. Again, still presentable, something you can drive like it sits, but know that the paint and body does have its, again, waviness to it. It does have its imperfections in the color. It does have its imperfections in the bodywork. This is a prime candidate for someone to, again, drive like it sits or have a really nice paint job put on it, but you're not fighting rust battles. The bottoms of the doors are solid. The body itself, from everything that I can see, is solid. If you strip this thing down to bare metal like any old car, you might find a surprise or two, but it does represent as a solid body. As you can see underneath this car, it is very, very nice and solid metal on the bottom. I just think whoever did the prep work and the paint work on this just didn't take their time and they could have done it better. I'm really trying to nitpick it because in the photos, the car does look like $1 million, but when you get up on it, it does have its imperfections, it does have its flaws. I did my best to take photos of that stuff in the additional informations tab, but some of the imperfections in the bodywork are hard to take photos of. So just know that it has its imperfections on pretty much all the panels, but it's not bubbles, it's not mud work or anything like that. They just could have, again, for the 5th time, could have done better on the prep work and the making the car straighter when they painted it. It does have a good shine, and as you can see in the photos, it looks like $1 million, but on close inspection, it has its flaws. The top is a manual top. It also has its imperfections and flaws, but it does go up, it does go down. Your glass is all in really nice condition. The windows roll up and down, all 4 of them. The back glass is really easy to see out of. You have your rear view mirror with a little bit of haziness on the lower corner here on the driver's side. And you do have your solo mirror here on the driver's side, which you can clearly see out of, and it is a manual 2C. You do have your manual vent windows, which open and close as well. But drivability of this Chevelle, the suspension feels good. The rear end doesn't make any weird noises. The brakes work like they should. The steering goes where you want it to go. You do have a little bit of play in the steering wheel, but it's normal for a classic car. Nothing that needs to be rebuilt when it comes to the gearbox or the power steering box or anything like that. It all performs like stock style equipment when it comes to the brakes and the steering. Again, that suspension feels nice and tight. It doesn't rattle you around. It pulls down the road really well. Inside the trunk's real clean. You got a spare. You got a mat back there. In the engine compartment is very clean as well. Again, it is done up to look like a 327, but it is a 283 motor. Got the numbers off the block. You have a aftermarket aluminum intake. I believe it's an Edelbrock intake. An Edelbrock carburetor. Nice valve covers. All the wiring, hoses, all that stuff checks out good. Fluids are in nice condition. It does have an aftermarket radiator with electric fans, so it stays nice and cool, no overheating issues. And again, mechanically, it's a solid car. You got cold air, it drives great. You got buckets, console, it's a convertible, put the top down. You already got tack and gauges. You got a really nice steering wheel. For me, I'd drive the hell out of this car. And at some point, if you want to make the paint nicer, you can. The underneath is great. It's got a hell of a look to it with the gray centered wheels. And for the price point, a Chevelle convertible that looks as good as this one does, obviously it has its flaws, I know that, but for the actual eye appeal of the car, all of the upgrades done mechanically with the AC, and just being a solid Chevelle, it really is a great car to hop in and drive and have some fun with. We'll roll into it here a little bit. Again, that exhaust makes it sound a little bit more tough than it is, but just a good cruiser when it comes to rolling down the road. And as always, I'm Mike. This is a 1968 Chevrolet Chevelle convertible, or Malibu, if that's what you want to call it, because that's technically what it is. You got a small block 283, you got an automatic transmission, you got aftermarket AC, and it's just a super, super solid car. From myself and everybody else here at PC Classic Cars, we appreciate y'all stopping in to watch another one of our test drive videos. Make sure you check out that additional information tab on the website, pcclassiccars.com. We'll catch you guys on the next video. Make sure you check out the content across all of the social platforms, and we'll see you guys on the next one.